What is up, everybody? It is your boy AJ Trip, and we got another game according to me podcast. Obviously I haven't not done one of these in a long time. Last one I did was about baseball. This one's gonna be about basketball and what we saw within the NBA Finals and subsequent and what we saw after with the start of free agency and the draft. So let's start with the playoffs. Everybody was talking about how the playoffs were kind of bad because the Warriors and Cavaliers basically swept their way through the playoffs, and it was kind of fun for me because I like when teams are dominant like that, and I enjoyed it, and I like the way the Warriors play and everything, and the Cavaliers have, did their thing too, and everything like that. So I was very excited and very um, cool about what went down. So, and then when the finals came around, I was rooting for the Warriors because the dumbass argument between Michael Jordan and LeBron James started up again. So I was obviously, I guess maybe it's not, maybe it's being petty, as like people like to say now, but I don't care. LeBron James is not the greatest basketball player of all time. He never will be. He's 3-5. Michael's 6-0, and there are other things that actually mean more than that. But let's face it, he is. So I was rooting for the Warriors, and the Warriors went. I kind of think the whole '96 Bulls versus these Warriors, or last year's Warriors, or anything like that, that's almost as stupid as the LeBron James Michael Jordan conversation, but it's stupid for a different reason. The era that you play in and things like that, because it's a different era, and was the basketball talent is one thing, with the talent that Michael had, the talent that LeBron has, and then like the intangibles and everything like that. So you can maybe kind of compare eras with like that. You cannot do that with, I don't think, a full team, because a full team, is about it's about the team and the era that you played in. Bulls played in an era where you could, basically this era's flagrant foul was a common foul back in their day, and you could punch. They say it all the time. You could punch, you could punch somebody in the face and you wouldn't get ejected. It was a common foul. So I mean, it's just. So things have totally changed. Eras have changed and things like that. So that argument to me, it's kind of stupid in that sort of way, and it's so whatever. But yeah, I thought, again, I obviously, like I said, I was rooting for the Warriors, so I was happy that they won, and I'm happy for Steve Kerr and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and all those folks, and good for them. It's always good to see. I can't wait. It probably would never happen now, because I think maybe with their this new thing coming in with resting players and things like that, I don't think people will try to go undefeated anymore, or try to break a record. But I really do think that if they really tried, the Golden State Warriors really tried with their talent, without question, they could go undefeated. They almost went undefeated in the playoffs. I think they could go undefeated in the season if they really wanted to and really tried. But I don't think they're going to do that. They want to have rest, and they want to make sure that their players are ready for the playoffs. So I don't think it'll ever happen, but I really think they could do that. Let's start with the draft and everything like that. The only big trade was the Jimmy Butler trade from my Chicago Bulls to the Minnesota Timberwolves. My thoughts on that real quick is I am okay with it, because I think they needed to do something. I think, because they're never going to pull a free agent. If the Chicago Bulls are going to come back and become a winner, they're going to have to do it in the draft. They're gonna have to do it with the draft and draft picks and young talent. And I think that, you know, with them trading Jimmy Butler, that means that they're going to be a little bit worse, and they probably won't make the playoffs. Although I just have a feeling that come hell or high water, they'll be fighting for that eighth seed, come come next April, and I just know it. But maybe not. And I'm not looking for the Bulls to do what the Cubs did, because what the Cubs did, yes, it worked and it brought them a championship, but I didn't watch the Cubs because they meant nothing. They meant nothing for like 4 or 5 years. So I don't want that to be like that with the Bulls, where the Bulls are nothing for 4 or 5 years, like the Sixers have been. I don't want that, So we'll have to see, but I do think they do need to do something, and who knows? And I think the biggest thing they need to do is fire Gar Foreman, and John Paxson, the front office. They need to do it, or bring somebody else in. You moved John Paxson to executive vice president, so you have to deal with the meter. Do that with Gar Paxson and bring in another general manager, someone who's better because Jerry Reinsdorf is loyal, so. Like that, but so that's my thought on the Jimmy Butler trade. I think Zach LaVine, young guy, could be good. Chris Dunn maybe needs a change of pace, and then the guy they drafted, Lowry Markkanen, is what the NBA is looking for right now. A 4 or 5 that's 7 feet tall, 6'11", 7 feet tall, that can shoot, from distance. And I think hopefully that will be him. We thought Nico was going to be like that, but Nico's not. He hasn't been consistent enough, to be like that. If Nico could, Nico could be consistent enough, he would be, it'd be such a good thing to have both Nico and and Lowry Markkanen, in your starting lineup, even though they're probably both defensive liabilities out there shooting threes. That would be awesome, but I don't know if that will ever happen. And in the draft, again, the trade for the number 1 pick between the Celtics and the Sixers, kind of funny, because then they brought back it turned people 16,000 more people signed up for season tickets, because they are trusting the process in there. And so even though they have been bad for 4 to 5 years, it's brought optimism to Philadelphia about their 76ers, and I think they do have nice, good talent, and maybe possibly even great talent. So it could definitely work. So we will have to see. Really nothing else about the draft that has gone on. But then the stuff afterwards, let's talk about that. Chris Paul being traded from the Clippers to the Rockets, I think is interesting. I think Paul George being traded from Indiana to the Nuggets, right? The Thunder. Went to the Thunder. That's interesting. He said that he's gonna go to LA, but we'll see. Maybe he might stay in Oklahoma City, but I think most people. So I think Oklahoma City. I think maybe that's what Oklahoma City is going to do. They're gonna maybe that's their plan. Maybe they're saying, okay, let's bring in Paul George for this year. Russell Westbrook is on the last year of his deal. Paul George is on the last year of his deal. Let's see if we can bring these two together and create something that can go up against the Golden State Warriors. And if some chance we do, and then we can make it to the finals and try to win that championship, then good. And then maybe if we don't, then okay. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll just let both of these guys leave, and we will start another rebuild. We did it before. We drafted Harden and Westbrook and Durant, and we built a team that went to the NBA Finals. We can do it again. So maybe that's their process in trading for Paul George, who has said that he is looking to go to Los Angeles next year. So maybe that's their whole thing. Paul Millsap went to the Nuggets. I think they are looking to try and compete make the playoffs. I think a lot of these teams are. I don't think a lot of these teams think that they can beat. They can beat beat the Warriors or in the Eastern Conference beat the Cavaliers, but I think what they're doing is they are not doing what the Bulls used to do. They did last year. They're just trying to compete, for the dollars and get the extra money, make the playoffs, and make that extra money. But the Nuggets have no shot. Paul Millsap got $30 million a year, which is impressive. So a lot of other things I think are going to happen. Kyle Lowry is staying with the Raptors, which I think could be a good time, because I think he had no other. Not only did he have no other place to go probably, but I think he's not eligible for the Supermax, but he can get the money that the extra 30-some million and then that extra year from them that he couldn't get from anywhere else. So he gets paid, and that's good for him. So he stays in Toronto. So I really do think that Blake stays with the Clippers. He opted out, but stays with the Clippers. He gets more money as well. So the Clippers are going to be something to see. Now Blake Griffin is the man. He is truly the man, and we'll see what happens with him and everything like that. And so I can't wait to see what happens with Gordon Hayward as well. Does he stay in Utah? Does he go to Miami? Does he go to Boston? If he goes to Boston and bees with Brad Stevens, I mean I think that doesn't put Boston over the top, but it helps them. I think unlike this year, next year they will be able to compete more with the Cleveland Cavaliers. When it comes down to the NBA playoffs. Obviously this year it was a 4-1 beat down from Cleveland, but maybe with Gordon Hayward, and now they added Jason Tatum from Duke in the draft. Maybe now there'll be a more Jaylen Brown with another year as well. Maybe they'll be more competitive, and maybe it could be actually 7-game series. So all that, let's see, am I missing anything? Ricky Rubio was traded from Minnesota. So I don't know. We'll have to see what goes down. I'm trying to think of anything else that happened, but I can't think of it really as I come away with it and I think about it right now. But here is just my overall thought. I can't, going back to my Bulls now, I'll end it with this one. Locally here in Chicago, for me, I really just hope that the front office here starts making the right decisions, in the draft. I hope this Lowry marketing guy is a good to great player. I hope he becomes a stud, and I hope I don't need him to be Dirk Nowitzki. I need him to be Lowry marketing. Become Lowry marketing. Get average 18 points a game. Average 18 points a game. Make three. Maybe make 3 threes. A game. Get to the line 4 times as well. It's all good. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just become, that, and become a couple-time All-Star. I think so that we'll have someone to talk about. So, yeah. Good time's coming down. So I want to thank you guys for listening. And if you're on YouTube, thank you guys for watching and listening. So please, follow me on all social media platforms. It's A20 is everything. So thank you guys for listening. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.